Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 336. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/RatedG4Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Oh.
I know we're a day late and $1 short, but we made it. We got this episode up and running. Let's go.
Well, look. Yeah, we had a big weekend. We had some stuff going on. I had a couple birthdays to celebrate. Not mine, but some friends of mine. We all went upstate, got really drunk on cider. That was a good time. And then Sunday, I gotta tell you, Dan, Sunday. So I'm wearing the hat. I almost never wear the hat. This, 1925 is the year the New York Giants football team started. One of the original 8. And I got to see them win. I got to see them win over the Texans. Oh, it was so good. It's so good. I'm very excited.
Win is a win, but that wasn't exciting a win. I mean, it's the Texans. Come on.
It wasn't the best win, but you know, a W is a W, right? They're on their way to the playoffs.
I feel bad for Lovie Smith. He had the Bears in the Super Bowl, and now he has crappy Texans.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. I definitely don't. I definitely don't envy him. Not that. You know, I don't want to get too into the sports and whatnot, but the NFC East is lighting up right now, and I'm sorry. The Eagles are strong. The Cowboys are strong. The Giants are strong, right? Even like the Redskins the Commanders. You know, they're kind of hanging. They're kind of hanging in there.
You don't say the R word over here.
No, I know. No. Trust me, that was a long time coming. That change. I'm very, very happy that happened. I will say though, I'm going to the game next weekend against the Lions on Sunday the 20th. And if everything all goes well, we're going to have field passes. We're going to be down on the ground then. We're going to get there early and say hi to the team. And
you should wear your Rated G shirt.
You know? No, you got to wear the blue. I mean, I would.
You got to wear the blue jacket. And then when you go down,
maybe underneath Rated G for Gamers.
You got the Rated G. Yeah.
My brother had a great idea because it's probably going to be my dad's last game, and he's been going.
Wait, your dad okay? Is your dad okay?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot, right? You know, when you get old and you can't stand for a while, right? You understand, Dan, right? You know, standing around a lot, getting up, getting down, making your way all the way out to New Jersey to East Rutherford.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you're old, so your father, you know, I mean, he must be at a historical age right now.
He is. He's 82 years old, Dan. 82 years old. Just think about that. Think about the next 30 some odd years of your life and how you're going to feel and where you're going to be. So
40. 50.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I'm 25, so that's going to be another.
This guy with the math.
Another 60 years for me.
But yeah, no, because we've been talking about getting rid of it. We have season tickets. We've been talking about getting rid of the season tickets, trying to sell them and all that, and it was tough because they've been having bad season after bad season, so it's hard to It's hard to get someone excited for, hey, you want to see one of the lowest ranking teams in football? And they're like, no. Even though they're great seeds.
You can watch them. You can
right, exactly. You can watch them in a rebuilding year. So this is probably going to be my dad's last game because it's just a lot. So we want to surprise him. We're trying to get field passes. There's a pretty good chance we'll be on the field.
Okay, well, you made it sound so morbid. You're like, is this the last game? I don't know, if he's ever going to be.
No.
I thought he was
dying.
No. I thought he was okay. Is he okay? It sounds like, is he okay? Come on.
He's had tickets since the Giants were playing in Yankee Stadium. If you remember, when the Giants actually played in New York.
Your father's old.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Before Giant Stadium or the Meadowlands or MetLife. Before all that, before they moved out to the swamp in the 70s and built the stadium for the Giants and the Jets. Yeah, well, he's got some history.
They won all four. Didn't they win all four NFL? Because it's before the merger.
That's
championship.
Right. That's right.
In Yankee Stadium.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
A little history lesson there for you people.
Yep. So good.
All right.
So
well,
good.
we can talk about we can keep talking about the Giants.
Oh my God.
And
I'm excited.
But we got to get this show back on the road. Listen, we have an awesome show this week. All right, we're gonna talk about a new game announced by Remedy.
Yep.
That not a shocker, right? We knew this was coming. And EA cancels 2 franchises. So people a little bit up in arms over EA canceling franchises. They have a little history of doing that. But before
I sure do.
But before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with a big rest in peace, R.I.P. to the voice of Batman from the animated series, and I think the video games and a lot of different movies. If you have HBO Max, you can watch a bunch of these animated movies, which were some great, some not so great. And that is Kevin Conroy has passed away at the young age of 66, I think. I think he was in his mid-60s, right?
Yeah. I mean, arguably the best Batman, even though he was just a voice actor of him. Lended so much gravitas, made the cartoon series what it was, among other greats like Mark Hamill and the great animation style and the great team and all the other great voice actors. I mean, just a lot. But I mean, he was, I love that TV series. I loved all the video games. I loved all the Rocksteady video games.
I love it. I love the fact that he, like in the beginning, right when Batman the animated series first came out, he had like a little bit more emotion to him because Batman had some actual emotions to him other than anger, right? Right when Batman was sort of like dark bluish. Right?
That's right. Yeah, the OG before they went gray and black.
And then he went gray and black, where he was a little bit more, he was like more serious, more I don't know, more mature as a crime fighter, and more serious, no personality, honestly, or no other emotions, right? He did a great job of transitioning into that because they changed the character, but they never changed the voice actor. And he was able to change with it. So
yeah, it's crazy.
I thought that was awesome. I would have loved to see. I'm not gonna lie. I would have loved to see like the original, sort of, the original Batman from the animated series, like the Fox 5 Batman. I'm talking about the Fox 5 Batman. I'm talking about history. The Fox 5 Batman.
Yeah, that's right. Fox,
I would love
Fox
to
Kids
see.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I would love to see sort of that Batman with like different emotions and a sort of a bigger personality with the Justice League, and see how that would have panned out, right? Because with the Justice League, he was more serious, more stoic, couldn't break him, right? So I would have loved to see the other Batman with the Justice League, and I know Kevin would have did a great job because he did a great job.
He would have killed
both.
it. Yeah, consummate professional.
So that's rest in peace, big rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. I wonder who's going to take over for the voice like of Batman going forward.
That's a good question.
Video games, and I mean they're not going to stop making movies.
No,
no, there will still be Batman movies.
I think it's got to be one of the younger crowd, right? You talk about the greats like John DiMaggio and. Everyone from The Simpsons and like Futurama, Pinky and the Brain, and all those guys.
I know, but
a lot of them are at the age, if not older, than Kevin Conroy. And they're great. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see them in those roles, but I think you got to get somebody younger who can like have the staying power to be like, for the next 10 to 20 years, like this is the voice of Batman.
Well, let's just think. He passed away. He was in his mid 60s, and he started in the early 90s. So that means when he played Batman, he was in his 30s.
Yeah,
right? He was in his early 30s.
He was young.
So we can get somebody, like since I'm 25, he was older than me when he first started playing Batman. So I can see somebody being in their, early 30s playing Batman for the next 30 years. That'd be great. And funny enough, Kevin Conroy, Batman. It's always weird to see Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, as the Joker, and he is one of the best Jokers.
I know,
Jokers ever.
Hell yeah.
He wasn't a great Chucky, but he was a great Joker.
Yeah. We don't talk about Chucky.
Okay.
Still love him though. Mark Hamill, you're my favorite Jedi. Sorry.
All right, let's talk about video games. If you were speaking of rest in peace to Stadia, right? We're almost at January when Stadia gets officially shut down.
Yeah.
But if you were a few of the unfortunate people who bought Stadia hardware and service, Google is starting to give out refunds now. So check out Google Stadia refunds and see how you can get your refund. Get your money back from that because they're starting to give it out now. So
now, again, this is just refunds for all the game purchases.
And I think some hardware or services.
Okay.
Or service. I think it's like all of the above, unless it was something that you bought they weren't refunding. I think like you brought maybe like their max plan or something like that. They weren't refunding you.
Right.
But games and definitely the service.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a good move. It's definitely the right move, and I think you have to point out it's not a move that every company would do, right?
That's true.
Granted it's a decent amount of money. Google's a big company. They kind of weighed the cost. And they said, no, we're going to do this.
I will say this. To tie things in together, we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago the PSVR 2, and then we also spoke about how at some point we spoke about how can VR be mainstream.
Yeah.
Right? VR to me will only be mainstream in two ways. One, it has to be wireless. So I know the PSVR 2 is
single
wire, which is great compared to the predecessor.
Yeah.
But wireless is the way to go, and it has to be like Google Glass. Like that's like eventually. The technology has to go, and it has to be.
It needs to be sleek enough, or you just kind of put it on like a pair of glasses, right? Something like that.
Correct.
Almost.
Correct.
Right? Because it's got to be all encompassing. But yeah, something that's nice and thin. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe the James Bond VR glasses are 100 years out, but it has to be sort of thin and maybe like goggles, right? Like glasses / goggles where you're just putting it over your head and it's like really thin, and not encompassed. Yeah. So that's the way that's the way it has to be for it to be mainstream.
Right. Listen, I'd be happy. I'd be so happy if I could put the headset on and not sweat after 5 minutes being in it.
Yeah. Well,
playing around a Beat Saber, forget about it.
Think about this. Remember? You remember what was the Demolition Man?
Oh God, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock were going to make love, right? And they put on the VR headsets.
Yep.
That was like in 92, 93.
93, I think, yeah.
That was our vision of like VR and we still haven't gotten there. Haven't gotten there because those were wireless. They weren't tethered. Those were wireless. So we need to hit that point first, and then we can get to the the James Bond just putting on the glasses.
Right.
So I'm still waiting for waiting for the flying cars and the self tying shoelaces.
Oh my, yeah, right, yeah. I gotta get that pair of Nikes.
All right, Dave. As we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing? If you say anything other than God of War, you're getting arrested.
Well, I would cuff me, Dan, because I'm going in. Okay. I have been playing God of War, right? Picked it up Wednesday. Got it from the local GameStop. It's interesting. I tried to get it from Amazon, maybe like a week or like a couple days beforehand, and when I went on there, it was like, oh, you'll get it by like Friday. I'm like, one of the best gaming franchises of all time, right? One of my favoriteest Halloween costumes I did all the way back in 2006. Me and Kratos go way back. I can't wait. So I played. Now here's the giant twist, Dan. I played up to the bear fight.
Okay, so you played an hour. Okay, this is beat around the bush. You played an hour, and I think I'm spotting you 20 minutes.
For a
That bear fight's
franchise,
pretty early.
for a franchise that I love, for a game that's so great, I only played about an hour. I got to the bear. I died once. Played it again. Died again. Now,
Well, you are playing on super hard. To be fair, too.
well, I'm playing on the second. There's like 4 difficulty levels. I think I'm playing on the second highest. So it is a little bit more challenging, to be fair. Thank you for noting. But the real reason I haven't been playing it is because Halo Forge mode. They dropped the winter update. 2 new maps, right? There's a whole new progression system for the winter update. And Halo Forge is out. So you can make your own levels, make your own custom games. It is crazy. So I've been building my own multiplayer level, and it's coming out great. So I want to get back into God of War. It's going to take some time.
I feel like you should just start over.
And God of
Really
War? No.
Yeah.
I beat like two of the like armed guards. There's nothing I missed. No, I'll get back into it.
You played less than an hour.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go back. There's no reason to go back in time. I'll pick it up where I left off. I remember the story thus far because it's a lot of narrative in that first hour.
You remember the mechanic? Because the bear fight, honestly, I mean, to be honest, the bear fight is for you to put everything that you've sort of, they've taught you about the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
Put together put everything you've learned together and now beat the bear.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I got the dodge rolling and the waiting for the right opportune moment, doing the parrying. Like that's all fine. I just got to concentrate. I went in there like I didn't know when the appropriate time was to attack, right? Because they give you like here's the green square and then here's the red square, and I'm like, I was trying to figure out the proper moment of opportunity to hit. So I just need like 1 or 2 more tries and I'll get through it.
Okay, but all right. Well, just the spoilers. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok too. You're gonna have to when you get all your weapons and stuff, you're gonna have to learn. When they're this color, only this weapon's gonna work. So you're gonna have to learn.
Oh, so they're like elemental power and all that. Yeah. Okay.
Switch between the weapons on the fly. Like you're gonna have to it's gonna have to be second nature to you. If you played on hard, if you play on easy, like it doesn't matter.
Right. You just beat them up. Yeah. Well, because I was gonna ask what the difference is, because the combat, which is the thing that I was really excited about. I'm like, it doesn't seem like there's anything new just yet, but I'm still pretty early, so.
Tell you, the 8 to 9 hour mark.
Yeah. Things get ramped up.
You're on hard, so it may be a little bit more.
So
right?
like 4 years later.
So I played on normal, and then I bumped it down to easy.
Right, because you want to experience it. Yeah.
So I'm more, I want to experience more of the story, if anything. So I, halfway through, I bumped it down to easy. So,
right.
So I want to say around the 8 to 9 hour mark, or maybe for you 10 to 12 hour mark. Mm-hmm. You get another, you get like the new weapon, and then which will get you into different areas. And I think that weapon is awesome, by the way.
Okay.
That's just my personal opinion. I haven't really looked to see if anybody talked about that weapon. Mm-hmm. I haven't actually seen any spoiler casts, which is odd. I really wanted to see.
Yeah, you usually just figure out what the ending of the game is already, and then you're like, I'm good, and then you could just play it at your leisure.
Yeah,
I know how you do.
I know how you do. I'm almost done with the game. I'm almost done. To be fair, I'm almost done. I got another 5-6 hours. Left.
Okay.
There will be something throughout the game, the narrative throughout the game, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is gonna happen, and then it just doesn't happen, right? There's something else happens.
Oh, so DLC?
So far.
DLC, or is it a twist?
honestly, I don't know if it'll be DLC because I know they said this is it for God of War in the Norse mythology, right? Like it's just not gonna be
He's going to be beating up some Egyptians next.
is that gonna be is that gonna be 3 games? They said it's not gonna be a trilogy, right? It's just 2 games. So I honestly think there will be a 3rd game, but it would be sort of like, oh, this would have been DLC. This is standalone DLC.
Well, I think
That's what I think.
I think this whole thing was supposed to be DLC, and then it turned into a bigger thing.
No. They said they had sort of two stories they wanted to tell, and it turned into 2 games. But I think,
Oh, okay.
if it ends up being what I think it's going to be, or even if it's not that, I mean, there's so many different things that I think is going to happen, right? It could be sort of like a standalone. I think we're 100% in my mind getting a 3rd game. Now, will they call it like the trilogy? No, they're gonna say
Right, because it'll be in a different mythology, probably. Yeah.
like Uncharted Legacy, right? Like it was. We got another Uncharted game for the PS4,
Right.
with different protagonists and stuff. I think
It wasn't called Uncharted 5, right? There's a reason for
It
that.
yeah. So I think that's what we're gonna get with God of War. I think we're gonna get another God of War game, 100%. Smaller scale. It's gonna be more of this game as sort of an extension of that story, no matter how it turns out at the end.
Sure. I do want to mention to round out what I've been playing, because I pre-ordered this a while ago and it came, and that's Tactics Ogre, which is a sequel to Ogre Battle, one of my favorite games of all time, and a spiritual predecessor to Final Fantasy Tactics, because I believe a lot of the same team worked on Final Fantasy Tactics, and you can see a lot of notes in there. I believe this is based off, I think there was a PSP remake that came out, and then this is now updated a little bit further on the Switch. Voice acting's on point. Never played this game before, so I didn't know if it was going to tie in and whatever else. And at the beginning of the game, some fan favorites from Ogre Battle show up, and I'm like, oh! So my heart just grew. I'm like, oh, you're in the game? This is amazing. So I'm very excited for it. Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah. So besides God of War, what else you been playing?
Honestly, I took new Borderlands took a back seat. God of War is just dominating, right, my mind and my thoughts. I wake up and I just want to play God of War. But
Gotta kill some Norse enemies.
But right before God of War came out, I was playing a bunch of Sonic Frontiers.
Oh yeah.
So I got it on the Xbox because I knew I'm playing God of War on PS5. So gotta play it on the Xbox. I played it on the opposite system. I didn't want to get the Switch version just because I didn't know if the Switch version graphically would be up to par. Right?
Sure.
So I wanted and this is supposed to be the Mario Odyssey of the Sonic games, right? So I figured, let me get it for at least the Xbox, right? So graphically I could see what it looks like. And it looks good. I don't think it's a big I could have got it for the Switch. I don't think it would have did any.
Wouldn't have taxed the system so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have. It would have been worse if I got it for the Switch, especially if you play it handheld on the OLED. So I kind of wish I got it for the Switch, to be honest. But I think the game is really good. I don't think it's great by any means.
Okay.
It's not great. It's really good. I like it. I do like it. It is the best 3D Sonic game since the Adventure series, right? And that seems to be the sentiment out there.
Sure.
On the internet, right?
Sure. That's a little harsh. I mean, I get it, and I appreciate the opinion, but to say that it's the best Sonic game since 2001 or 2000 is
okay. How about
that's
this?
a 20-year gap right there.
Since 2003, we'll do Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Adventure or whatever.
Oh, sure. The GameCube one. All right. Even still, that's 19 years. That's crazy.
Well, I like the fact that it's like an open zone, and it's really hard to. I feel like it's hard to explain because it's an open zone world where it's not totally open world where you can go anywhere you want technically, but you're in this zone. It's like Bowser's Fury, kind of, right? It's like. It's more. I know I said Mario Odyssey, but it's more in line with Bowser's Fury.
Right, because they're little small micro areas.
Yeah. It's something like that. You can't, like in Bowser's Fury, you have these micro areas where you can, you're in the, I don't know, let's just say the volcano micro area, and you
Yeah.
run over to the water micro area. It's not like that at all. It's you're in this zone, and when you beat this zone, you can move on to the next zone, which is a different theme.
Okay.
I know people knock it because they said graphically, it's not, it's nothing to it, but it's supposed to be sort of Bayonetta-ish style. I mean, it is Sega technically.
Sure.
Where it's dark and dreary and raining, so it's not. People say, it's not enough colors. It's not enough colors, so maybe it's not enough detail to the land, but it's supposed to be like that. I think they purposely did it like that because it's raining all the time.
Okay.
And it's a desolate area, right? It's like it's almost like a post-apocalyptic Sonic, kind of, right? So you're in this open zone world, and you get enough rings, or not rings, but like these little orbs,
Sure.
that are like in a ring, gears,
Okay.
gears, and you can go into sort of the 2/3D Sonic games, like Sonic Forces, right? Like Sonic Forces was. You go into these areas
Yeah.
that are similar to that. So we do have what they've been shoving down our throat for the last like 15 years, like Sonic Forces areas, right?
Right.
But they gave us this open zone area first, and then you can get into those sort of 2D areas where you have to sort of beat the challenges and stuff, and then you can get different emeralds, orbs, and gears, so you can move on to the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
They do. It's funny. People complained about they have fast and not so much slow, but you could do it normal where you could just run around the zone super fast, and they have it where they slow it up a little bit for beginners.
Sure.
I don't think it's not like you're walking when you have it on beginners, right? Like they slow it down a little bit so you're not just running so fast that the camera can't see you.
Well, speed has always been an issue all the way back to the first Sonic. If there's one criticism that people rightfully levied at the series, is that he moves too fast, and it's hard to see what's upcoming because you're like moving so quickly. I
think that's the charm of the game as well, because I can remember in the first two games, one of the first two games where you're running. Remember you're running down the loop and everything so fast that you run off the screen.
You go flying in the air.
Yeah, that as a kid, that was like, what the fuck? Mom?
Oh, no. Trust me.
Right?
The wow factor certainly is there, but when there's like a set of spikes that are coming up and you're moving at the speed of light, or the speed of sound, I guess, is what Sonic moves at. It's, I know, but then you have to invoke the number one thing that people say about playing old school games: get good, memorize. I mean, sure.
Memorize the area. If you run too fast in this area, you're gonna have spikes over here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try to slow it up.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
So it's trial and error. So I don't think I do have it on sort of like normal, right? Like not super fast. I have it on normal. It's not that slow. Like people I think are exaggerating.
You don't have to do it, right? It's a toggle, right?
It's a toggle. You don't.
Yeah. Okay. So who cares?
People made it an issue. Like, why is this here? Like, it's here because you don't want to run past.
Giving somebody an option is it's almost never a bad thing, right?
I think my biggest issue with the game, and I told you right before we started recording, is the first like big boss battle, like big Eco Shadow of the Colossus type battle, which they have a lot of in this game. I was running up the guy's arm, and they make it difficult, especially in the first one. And I think they shouldn't have made it this difficult on the first big. I'm not gonna call him a boss, but the big, beast
creature
battle.
Mini boss maybe.
Yeah, they should have made it a little bit easier. But you run up his arm, you get to his head where you have to destroy like these 3 poles on his head, right? The issue I had was I got to the last pole. First of all, I kept dying and killing him at the same time, which drove me nuts.
Yeah,
it drove me nuts because I could see him dying, but I died too. It was like him dying should overshadow me dying. Like I should come back to life. But anyway, I digress. I said maybe I'm doing something wrong, and there's always a little stupid notification in the upper right hand corner that you should take, especially if you keep missing, like you keep trying to go up the arm, you don't go up the arm, or you're trying to do something and you don't do it right, is a stupid indication to try, you can go in the menu system and sort of do a tutorial. So I said, all right, it keeps popping up. Maybe I'm missing something. I did the tutorial. At this point, I had the boss down to 20%. Okay. It took me maybe 10 minutes to get him down to 20%. Okay. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to finish him. And I see the stupid notification. So I hit the tutorial button. I said, okay, maybe I'm doing it wrong. And after I got out of the tutorial, the boss was back to 100%.
Oh yeah, well,
that drove me nuts.
That's a bug. All right, that's a bug.
I don't think that's a bug. I think that's the
no.
Game.
Why would that even know? Because if they're gonna take you out of a thing to teach you a new concept and whatever else, like you have no agency whether you can skip it or not, right? Like you just have to go through with it. So why would they punish you like that?
No. I didn't have to go to the tutorial.
Oh,
but I was trying to run up the arm of the monster, of the beast.
Yeah.
And I kept failing because when you get the beast down to like 10-20%, they're not gonna make it easy for you to run up the arm and get to the top.
Yeah. He's in his final form or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, okay, this stupid tutorial thing keeps popping up. Maybe I'm missing something. It's trying to tell me something.
Right.
So I said, all right. I've been ignoring it, by the way, this whole time. So I clicked on it and I said, oh, okay, this is how they want me to run up the beast. It's not working, by the way, but okay. Mm-hmm. And after I get out of that, it's back to 100%. And at that point, I said, I'm done for the night. And then God of War came out the next.
All right. They need to at least let you know that it will reset your progress going into that thing at a bare minimum. Right.
If they did, I wouldn't have clicked on a tutorial.
Right, exactly. And it's not hard to do. It's just like you're going into this thing, like here's what's going to happen, which is like that's like table stakes, if anything. Which to me sounds like it's a bug that they either just didn't have time to get to, or
it's not a bug.
It is. You're visibly upset about it. There's no reason to punish the player like that because they're trying to. Okay. It's antithetical. It's antithetical to what it is. It's a tutorial to help you beat the boss. Why would they then go back and punish you for going and learning about how to beat the boss?
It's a tutorial to annoy me. That's what it is, Dave.
Oh, yeah, 100% is there, but I mean that's not intentional. No, I refuse to believe that. Anyway,
well, you're stubborn. So
all
right. Well, we take a break. When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we're back. All right, Dave. Let's get into the top gaming news of last week. No lead story this week, but I do want to start the news with what the hell's going on with Twitter. I mean, I know. No,
I can see right below you. There's a Pandora's box that you've just opened up.
I know.
Let's discuss.
Well, I don't want to go too deep into the woods with this. I know Elon Musk, who owns Tesla, and I know I'm a Tesla fan. You're not so much a Tesla fan.
SpaceX too. What's not and also the Boring Company. Yeah. He owns a lot of companies.
Yeah. He bought Twitter when he
$44 billion.
He wasn't going to buy Twitter, and then he was going to buy Twitter, and then they forced him to buy Twitter. So now he has something he really didn't want in the first place. I'm not gonna get in the weeds of that, but now that he owns Twitter, he's changed a lot of policies. It's been a little weird. I mean, you got the Nintendo of America. You got the Nintendo of America. Well, first of all, you can just be. You get a check mark for $8 a month, which we should do, by the way. We should just have a check mark next to our name, which would be awesome. But
$8 a month? I mean,
yeah, but that means anybody could take it, and you got Nintendo of America tweeting out, Mario with the middle finger. Obviously, that's not the real Nintendo of America. You have Valve tweeting out that, they suck, which is obviously not really them. And, so on and so on. It's just weird right now. I don't know. You can't really believe what you see on Twitter now. Like, it's not as reliable now as it was for like the last 10 years.
Right. So the big brain move from Elon, and I don't want to dump on Elon that much, but he talked a big game. His whole thing was like Twitter should be an open forum, right? I'm sorry, I'm going to go a ham on this for a minute. Twitter should be the virtual town square. I said, okay, great. That's what it was. He just didn't like some of the bans that have been put upon certain people. He didn't like the fact that the 45th President Trump, he didn't like that he got banned and some other people got banned off the platform.
People in general. He thinks it should just be open platform for you to say whatever you want.
Right. And he was going really hard on that. He's going to make all these big changes for a company that has never been profitable. There may have been like 1 year that they were profitable. For a company that was going to go out of business many times, saved by the 2016 election, was really the thing that kind of brought them back and turned it into a place of discussion and whatnot. But they always operated a loss. His big idea is to say, hey, if you want to get a check mark, it's $8 a month, and you get some other benefits with it too, right? But now it's not an open forum anymore. Now everyone's not on an even playing field, because when you have the $8 a month check mark, your like stuff gets elevated in the chain. So you're now like top of the replies, right? You get more visibility. You get other features, which is nice. You can post long form video and some other things, which I think is cool. But the fact now that it's a 2-tiered system, it no longer makes it free. You have to pay for the right to be able to get visibility on there.
Well, let's yeah, go ahead.
It's true. And the reason people are memeing on all these accounts, I think, is partly just to say, hey, Elon, this is one of the dumbest ideas in the entire world. I don't necessarily think that I obviously Twitter could be better. There's some things they could do to like make it better. But I don't think going so hard in the paint on Jack Dorsey, the previous president, didn't do a great job with it. I'm going to get in there and fix it. It's going to be real easy. And he's realizing that it's not, because this whole pay $8 to get a check mark, everybody's making parody accounts. So half of the damn platform is parody accounts, right? A lot of them video game related, which I think is really funny when like Mario's giving a middle finger, but I don't know. It's sorry. Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, what makes YouTube so successful, and it's ad revenue, right? And you share it with the creators, so it's a job, so people make money, and it's coming from ads, which is why we've had so many different ad apocalypses on YouTube, right? But it's not subscription based, right? Like, I mean, think about it. Think of YouTube Red. Think of Cobra Kai. It didn't go. Cobra Kai is on Netflix now because it didn't go so well, because the subscription based policies aren't that good when it comes to sort of like social media platforms, right? You got to go ad based. You got to go ad based. I mean, it didn't really work that well with Facebook either, right? Like, you have to go ad based. Where I think if you want to make Twitter profitable and more successful, go more ad based and share the revenue with the creators, and then look at
the
TikTok.
advertising doesn't bring in a lot for Twitter. It's in a really weird spot. Like, it's very big with political. It's very big in the political sphere. It's very big in the gaming sphere. It's big in journalism. But like outside of those like 3 or 4 markets, people don't give a damn about it, right? Everyone's on TikTok. Everyone, their grandma's on Facebook.
Make it profitable for creators, and creators will create stuff for Twitter. Like, honestly, TikTok should have been an evolution from Twitter, to be honest. Right? If you think about it, like video clips, Twitter. Like Twitter, to me, when Twitter first started, it was sort of like posting clips from Facebook, right? Because on Facebook you can post anything you want.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm eating for breakfast, and now I have a platform where I could just do that.
Yep.
And just post it to the world, right? So like, we shouldn't even have TikTok. That should be Twitter, right? Twitter should
I
be
mean,
the post.
yeah.
And I can have a clip because it's obviously the limit the characters that you can post.
280. I mean, they upped it from 140. It used to be 140 characters to
Well,
to comply with an
that's always
SMS
gonna be,
text message.
I mean,
Yeah.
you remember MySpace, which sort of started this. I mean, Friendster was first, but MySpace sort of started
Blew up. Yeah.
blew up, right? And I remember you can, had 4 pictures on it, and then you have 8 pictures on it, and you can have
Yep.
12 pictures on it.
Yep.
I remember calling Brian and saying, "Yo, you can have 12 pictures on." And we were, because you would have to alternate. If you took a new picture,
Yeah, you got to swap them out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I think Twitter could have been an evolution, and TikTok should have been an evolution to Twitter and been the same company.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just
I
weird.
mean,
It's just a weird thing.
yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think it's going to last much longer because he's fired everybody good who worked at the company.
fired
trying
everybody.
to like.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Think about good. He's fired everybody.
He's trying to get his head above water here, and now you cut off all the engineers who had all this knowledge, right? So now there's a big knowledge gap. You have to bring in new people. They have to learn what the legacy code is. Apparently, they have code that's so old they just kept kicking the can down the road in favor of like velocity in the platform, right? They kept trying to put out new features and build up their base, and they never went back and did performance. So there's like a lot of issues, and Elon's like, why is this platform so bad? Why do we have all this stuff in here that's like super old and ancient? And it's like, well, like this is what the old mantra was, right? We kept moving forward, kept building new features. We never took the time to fix the old ones. So you got to deal with all this legacy tech debt. It's a bad news. Man should have never bought that platform. Should have done his research.
To be fair, he did pull out, and they forced him to buy it because they wanted $40 billion.
He shouldn't have opened his mouth to begin with. You're right. They did make him buy it, right? And I also think Jack Dorsey regrets his selling of it because I think the previous CEO was a pretty good dude for all intents and purposes. He was okay.
Honestly, I don't care what Jack Dorsey thinks. Like it's you could see the writing on the wall if you're going to sell it to Elon Musk of all people. Please.
Well, like he got the bag and he got much more than it was worth.
So this is I can foresee Twitter is going to start to go down.
Yeah.
And Jack Dorsey's going to buy it for $50.
He's gonna pick it up again and try. Nah, I think he's done. I think he's gonna retire. That man is out.
Well, $45 billion. Yeah, he should retire. I would retire.
Yeah, right.
I mean, buy a rated G for $45 billion. I'll take it. Go
That's
ahead.
Exactly right. We're sitting up in Cancun for the rest of our lives, drinking mai tais on the beach.
Mexico.
It's game over.
Costa Rica. I'll be in Costa Rica.
There you go. Yeah. It's game over, baby. Oh.
All right. Well, speaking of gaming, let's get back into gaming news. Remedy has announced a new game officially. We knew Alan Wake. A new Alan Wake game was in the works.
Yeah.
Right? Say that. But now we know Control 2
Oh.
is in the works. It's officially been announced. Control 2.
It's Janet Jackson's favorite game.
I will say the annoying part is they did say they announced the platforms it'll be on. I think they said the Switch, PS5, and Xbox One and PC, which makes no sense because we don't know when this game is going to come out. This game may take longer than expected. It may come out on the Xbox Series X2 and the PlayStation 6 and God knows how long the Switch is going to be out for.
You should have said it's coming to.
It's in the works. Just say it's in the works. We don't know what.
Yeah, or coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, but not specifically say the systems of the version. Sure, because you don't want to get into Cyberpunk territory, right? Where they said, "Oh, it's coming to PS4, it's coming to Xbox One," and those were the worst versions.
Control came out in 2020, right? Because it was IGN's game of the year in 2020.
Yeah, great game.
But that was 2 years ago. I don't know if I'm gonna say they didn't start working on it until maybe last year. So maybe you got another 3 to 4 years coming out, right? So the Switch is, I don't think the Switch has another 4 years in it, right? Like
that'd be really tough if they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Just say it's coming out. Don't say what platforms it's coming out on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a little bit annoying. But I'm happy that we're getting a new Control game. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
sort of like a dark and spooky Jedi game in my view, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it was a little bit spooky, but you had like Jedi, you had Jedi mind power.
Oh yeah, the fucking telekinesis all over the place. It's crazy.
Telekinesis.
So good. I need to get back to that game actually. I got I left it somewhere. I was on the way to the power plant or something, I think.
Not gonna lie, I beat the boss
Kinda
and
got
then I just
stuck.
never got back into it.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
all right. We went from games being announced to games that may be announced in the future. It looks like Lionsgate Studios, the studio that owns the John Wick franchise, is shopping around the different studios or listening to pitches from different studios to make a AAA John Wick game.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't big news per se until we actually get like sort of like an announcement. Hey, this studio is working on a AAA John Wick game. Then I'll be super excited. I mean, John Wick Hex was a good sort of turn-based strategy game,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I want to know, what studio would you want to make a John Wick game?
Oh, and I'll say as good as
Right now, any studio. I'm
Sure.
not going to pigeonhole you. I'm not going to handcuff you.
I would hope not, Dad.
You
Apparently, I'm already going to jail for playing other games than God of War. I don't want to go to jail for a second time.
All right, I'm gonna take the handcuffs off. I put the handcuffs on earlier in the show. Now I'm taking the handcuffs off. You can pick any studio, even if it's a first-party studio,
Right.
to make a John Wick game.
So
Who would you pick?
So it depends. One, I will say this is an amazing idea, and I know you mentioned Hex, and Hex was great, but Hex was different, right? Hex was strategy, like a bang bang shoot 'em up, a Matrix style, right? That's what John Wick is without the gravity defying moves and all that. Now it depends. Are we talking open world, or are we talking like linear
what John
shooter?
Wick game do you want? What John Wick game do you want?
All right, well, I'm going to have to give you two answers because I could see this going two different ways. It could be...
No. Right now, for your life, just one. Just pick one.
Well, no. Here. Because it depends on what type of game it is. Like, if it's an open world game, right, I would want Rockstar to do it. If it's like more of a focused shooter where it's like different levels and you play in like a small little playground, then I would want somebody like Infinity Ward or Raven to do it, right? Or maybe like the Coalition from Gears of War.
Call of Duty. Oh, okay. Call of
Right?
Duty guys.
So that's like it all depends on the type of game that they're looking to make. I don't think it's going to be like fully open world, run around Manhattan like Grand Theft Auto, because I think that's going to be a huge budget. They got to pay for the license and all that other stuff. So
I agree with you. I'm gonna take your GTA John Wick game out of here.
all right, driving it off into the water. Okay,
I'm gonna drive it off the water because I do like that idea, right? 'Cause John Wick could like theoretically, bust a window and take you out of your car because he has to get away.
Yeah,
right?
Could be awesome.
But I think, but I'm gonna go. You want John Wick to be more of sort of a Call of Duty style.
Mm-hmm. A little more focused on the guns and the shooting, right?
On the guns.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. All right. So I'm gonna say semi IO interactive, like Hitman, because John Wick technically is a hitman, right? Like he is a hitman.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue with that pick would be John Wick. Besides the hitman part, which is always sort of the beginning of John Wick, the beginning of the John Wick movies, where he has to, sort of put a hit on somebody and kill them secretly in stealth. He does have a lot of guns, but he doesn't use a lot of guns until he gets to the end when everyone's trying to kill him, and then the stealth becomes, impossible.
Right.
And he does a lot of combat. So I know this studio isn't known for its, known for its combat, but I'm gonna go BioWare. I would say BioWare, like BioShock creator.
Okay.
Sort of only because, and I'll say why. They can do combat. They could do shooting. They could do both well. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
they're not great in any particular category.
Right.
But you can make sort of a John Wick sort of RPG where you have to convince people, right? Remember, spoilers for movies that have been out for many years, and it's like we're on like our fourth movie right now, right? Like where you're hurt and you got to convince a doctor to help you, right?
Right. That could be kind of interesting, right? Action RPG style game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, where you have dialogue and you're trying to convince them to do something for you to help you move along in your quest for whatever you're looking for, right, in the game. And I want a prequel to the movies, so it's not beholden to the movies at all. And it's not so far.
You don't want it to follow the rigid storyline of the movies.
I don't want it to follow the rigid storyline of the movies, but I don't want it to be so far off where it's not believable of the character that we know.
Right.
So that's why I want to give me a John Wick early on. John, give me the John Wick when he first started. Right because
I'm
then you can make
with you.
Because then you can make as many sequels as you want, and it won't it won't take you out of the movies.
Right. Because he's a hired hitman, so he can go on an infinite amount of journeys, right?
Yeah.
And it's just another story, right? It's just another entry in the series. Okay.
Yeah, so give me John Wick in his early days as he's, propping up and becoming the hitman.
So it's gonna be a little. The scene's gonna open up. I can see it now, right? It opens up. There's like a birthday cake with like 5 candles in it, and you see little Johnny Wick at the table, and he blows out the candles, and then his dad gives him a gift. He opens it up, and it's a little snub nose 38 pistol. And he's go here, Johnny.
I thought the story was gonna go so left. I thought you were gonna say you got a little Johnny. It's his birthday.
That's pretty left, though, right?
And as soon as he blows out the candles, his rival for this girl that he really likes just drops dead, or drops, maybe not dead, but he drops and he's like having a stroke because he put something in his Kool-Aid or something. I don't know. I thought you were gonna go so left with that story.
I mean, either way, I want to see this now, right? I want to see level 1 is the birthday party for little Johnny Wick.
Okay.
That'd be hilarious.
Is his name Johnny Wicked?
Johnny Wicked.
Right, and John Wick is like the short version of it.
Right.
Okay.
It's funny.
Well, I did say BioWare. BioWare is owned by EA, and we do have news about EA. Let's shift gears to talk about EA. They are known for sort of canceling, franchises and games and stuff like that.
I suppose EA, that's one of the things they're known for. Yeah.
one of the negative things they're known for. Let's say. They actually reportedly have written off the Cars franchise, Project Cars franchise, and Dirt. So Cars they've canceled completely, apparently, and Dirt they've put on hold or put on ice. Mm-hmm. So we don't know when we're going to get another Dirt game. And Dirt has been around since, I think the PS2, definitely the 360 era, because I have the original Dirt games on the Wii and 360. Project Cars, more of a newer franchise, published by they were published by Bandai Namco. They are on the PS4 and Xbox One generation, but we probably, they did buy Codemasters, and sort of, they have racing games on lock, which, I hate to say it, I kind of wish Microsoft would have bought Codemasters, anybody but EA, because now they sort of have the racing game genre on lock with so many different racing franchises that why would they put out these 2 franchises? Why would they keep putting out games? So
and the other one that they have is Need for Speed, which is still going, but Dirt is off-road. Need for Speed is always street racing. It's a completely different genre. You can have 2 games. You could technically have 3 with Project Cars. I mean, there's definitely enough room for it, but yeah, it's sad. Why would you buy a whole franchise and then be like, no more Dirt games?
Because they didn't buy them for the franchises. They bought them for the
They bought them for the talent. I know.
They want to make Need for Speed. They want to make the Need for Speed Dirt, the Need for Speed Project Cars. They want to make the Need for Speed with innovative features on it.
Yeah. And Dirt goes all the way back to the PS1. Dirt has had a storied franchise. Yeah. It used to be Colin McRae Rally. He was the man behind it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Way back when, right? And they were good games. Like, they were good games. Came to the PS2, the Xbox, even better. You know, they've definitely had a good history. And now, that's it. Well, put on hold, right? They're not done.
Project
Like, they
Cars,
can always come
Project
back.
Cars was they essentially canceled that franchise. Dirt, they put on hold.
Okay.
They put it in the freezer. Dirt, they've frozen. They have frozen Dirt, but we don't know when they will unfreeze Dirt.
It's like one of the only 120 frame per second games on the Xbox One and PlayStation. It's crazy.
Well, speaking about freezers and games being in the freezer, I like to end. I like to end my stories with something crazy, wild, or unexpected, or out of this world. And I thought this was kind of cool. Metroid Prime devs, the team, kept their original GameCube in the freezer just because apparently there were some GameCubes that had bugs on them, and the only bug apparently was from the original Metroid game, so they put it in the freezer.
Nice.
Which is weird. Do you think this system, if frozen, obviously it's frozen, do you think it would work? Like, if you would thaw it out, would it work?
The trick is, because I think all the components are rated for like a pretty wide range, right? You know, and it gets cold in a lot of areas. I would say the issue is if you're going to put it in the freezer and not have it hooked up, just keep it in the freezer and then pull it out, because it's going to, like, the ice will thaw and then turn into water. It's got to be completely clean. All right? You have any water in any of those components, things gonna fry. Something's going to fry inside, and then that's it. So I would say yes. Yeah, as long as you, like, dry it out, I think you'd be good to go.
This comes from Jack Matthews. He was a Metroid Prime dev, and he gave like a Metroid Prime game day dev story when he said the one where he fridged the GameCube shortly after Prime shipped. Nintendo told us that there was bad batches of GameCube CPUs, and apparently Prime was the only game that misbehaved on them. So we saw the videos and cleared what was on it, and they put it in a freezer.
That's wild. Hey, you do what you got to do to make your games. All right, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
All right, Dave. You got any plans for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I'm going to the game on Sunday. It's going to be great. It's my third Giants game of the season. Very excited. Watch me on TV. You will see me down on the field cheering from the sidelines. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to make it happen. We're in talks, and obviously I'm playing Halo Forge, right? Halo Infinite Forge mode.
You're going back to jail. I'm putting the handcuffs on.
But there's more. I'm playing Tactics Ogre, and I'm playing God of War, baby.
You're playing all these
And I'm playing God of War.
Playing all these insignificant games.
Look.
The cuffs are back on.
I understand. I understand. You definitely want to talk about it.
The name of this episode is Dave Gets Arrested with a pair of handcuffs, because you're going back to jail.
Oh, my God.
You're going back to jail. You're going to jail.
All right. Well, what are you doing this weekend besides putting cuffs on me?
I'm going to beat God of War. That's the only thing I care about.
Okay.
I'm going to beat
All right.
God of War.
You're taking it to the finish line. I can't believe you're almost done with it.
It's about 22 to 28 hours long, depending on, obviously, if you play it on easy or if you're doing side quests and stuff. I am 18 hours in, so I got potentially another 4 to 10 hours.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Maybe I'll do some side quests. Maybe I won't.
I think you're going to go right for the end. Yeah.
I'm going to go right for the end, yeah. Most likely.
I know you. I know you.
Yeah. And then I'm going to uninstall it because, I don't care about the side quests.
Well, also, it takes up a hell of a ton of space on your damn hard drive, so you need that,
does.
It
does.
Yeah.
But what else am I going to play? What else am I going to play? Maybe wait for Gungrave or something,
Sure. Well,
So,
all right.
That's about it.
All right. That is episode 336 in the books, folks. We want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.